Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan selamat pagi. Seperti mana yang dimaklumkan oleh pengurusi di majlis tadi, hari ini kita akan mengadakan sesi bersama pemegang taruh ataupun stakeholders untuk semakan semula kod amalan audit institusi edisi kedua, dan saya akan memberikan taklimat tentang perkembangan terkini dan pada masa yang sama mengharapkan maklum balas daripada anda semua dalam kita memantapkan lagi pembangunan dokumen ini. Okey. Dan urus dia mungkin boleh kongsikan pembentangan. Okey. Ini merupakan bahan pembentangan yang akan saya kongsikan dan terangkan pada hari ini. Dan dia sebenarnya adalah untuk menerangkan beberapa kandungan utama yang kita telah yang panel yang dilantik oleh MQ telah bangunkan, dan daripada pembentangan ini kita mengharapkan komen dan maklum balas daripada anda semua. Dan dan pembentangan ini, slide ini sebenarnya disediakan dalam bahasa Inggeris. Bila saya masuk dalam kandungan, saya akan bentangkannya dalam bahasa Inggeris. Okay. Dan kalau kita tengok di sini, ini merupakan rangka ataupun kandungan pembentangan ini. Ia bermula dengan sedikitlah latar belakang. Kemudian saya akan berikan objektif proses semakan semula ini dan juga overall strategi keseluruhan yang melibatkan garis masa. Kemudian kita juga akan mengimbas kembali beberapa dapatan sesi libat urus yang telah diadakan pada sebelum ini, pada bulan Januari tahun ini, yang mana MQA bersama panel telah mengadakan focus group discussion, perbincangan kumpulan fokus bagi mendapatkan maklum balas awal apakah keperluan dan juga beberapa input yang diperlukan untuk membangunkan intipati kepada dokumen ini. Kemudian kita akan pergi kepada cadangan yang melibatkan bidang-bidang penilaian yang dicadangkan, dan juga kita akan berkongsi tentang beberapa hasil projek yang akan dihasilkan daripada projek inilah basically. Dan kemudian kita akan juga berkongsi bagaimana proses konsolidasi penyataan standard dibuat, dan kemudian diakhiri dengan beberapa ringkasan perubahan beserta dengan beberapa maklumat lain yang juga melibatkan beberapa pautan yang kita kongsikan, sebab sesi ini akan disusuli dengan sesi soal jawab, tapi akan dibuat dalam bentuk berkumpulan mengikut kategori peserta. So pautan akan diberikan sebaik saja saya menamakan taklimat ini. Dan ini merupakan ahli-ahli yang terlibat. Ia terdiri daripada panel yang dilantik oleh MQA, saya sebagai pengurusi, dan dibantu oleh 6 orang panel yang lain, terdiri daripada Profesor Madya Teknologis Dr. Samsul Nur Azlan Muhammad sebagai standard writer, penulis standard daripada UiTM, Profesor Teknologis Dr. M. Iqbal Sarifan. Dari semasa lantikan beliau dari Universiti Putra Malaysia, tapi sekarang beliau telah dipinjamkan ke MQA memegang jawatan timbalan Ketua Pegawai Eksekutif MQA, portfolio jaminan kualiti. Kemudian kita ada Profesor Dr. Maniam Kalianan daripada University of Nottingham, Malaysia, Profesor Ondu Sheng, Multimedia University, Profesor Rohaida Muhammad Saad, Universiti Malaya, dan Profesor Dr. Sani Sahuri Muhammad Mukhtar Universiti Utara Malaysia. Itu merupakan barisan panel yang dilantik. Pada masa yang sama, kita juga dibantu oleh pasukan daripada MQA yang diketuai oleh Encik Muhammad Zafir Mustafa sebagai timbalan pengurusi. Kemudian dalam senarai barisan pegawai MQA, Encik Khairul Nizam Ibrahim, Puan Rohasni Muhammad Siddiq, Puan Mazlinawati Muhammad, Puan Nur Hafizah Muhammad Arif, Puan Siti Salwa Abdullah, Puan Fatin Nabilah Giman, dan ada seorang lagi akan dilantik kemudian. Dan pada masa yang sama kita juga ada wakil daripada Jabatan Pendidikan Tinggi, iaitu Puan Tracy anak William Tandang. So ini adalah kumpulan atau pasukan yang membangunkan dokumen ini atau menyemak semula dokumen ini. Kita ada mesyuarat pertama telah dijalankan pada akhir tahun lepas, pada 13 Disember 2023, dan antara kandungan mesyuarat pertama ialah untuk membincangkan bagaimana kita nak mengadakan pembincangan kumpulan fokus yang akhirnya telah dijalankan pada Januari 2024. Next. Okey, ini merupakan ialah gambar sebahagian daripada ahli-ahli panel yang telah mengadakan bengkel pertama di Kinrara Puchong pada bulan Mac 2024. Seterusnya saya akan membentangkan dalam bahasa Inggeris dan keseluruhan kandungan pun untuk slide selepas ini pun disediakan dalam bahasa Inggeris. So this is the background of the development of code of practice for institutional audit. So in this case, the MQA has published the code of practice for institutional audit that we normally known as COPIA, as guidance for implementing a general institutional audit. At that time, it was also being used in the 2009 academic performance audit. But at the same time, the code also being used to for the purpose of awarding the self-accreditation status for invited higher education provider. So this document we known as COPIA, and then the first edition was approved by MQA Council meeting number 1 in 2008 on 18th January 2008 and was published in June 2008. Subsequently, COPIA second edition was published in 2009, February 2009. This COPIA second edition in particular contains 6 sections providing explanation about quality assurance of higher education in Malaysia. So today we are going to discuss the standards contained in COPIA, which is actually embodied in section 2, which is the main section of COPIA second edition, as it contains 9 areas of evaluation for quality assurance purpose, outlining 2-tier standards at that time in the COPIA second edition, with the aim to strengthen the 9 areas of evaluation, and then the 2-tier standard, it is in form of benchmark and enhanced standards. Since then, there are 19 higher education providers, HEP, awarded with the status through evaluation based on the standards contained in COPIA second edition. Next. So based on the background, then there are terms of references given to the panel, which is listed as objective in the slide. So the objectives of this project is first to improve and strengthen the implementation of COPIA second edition. Second, to provide guidance for implementing a general institutional audit, including the institutional audit for the purpose of awarding the self-accreditation in status or other related thematic audit, for example. the third objective is to review all areas and criteria of evaluation as requirements for self-accreditation application into a more quality evaluation criteria. Fourth objective is to look into all the requirements in the 9 quality assurance areas to possibly 7 areas. This 7 is actually initially because it follow COPA areas of evaluation, and as well as other sections that need to be also looked into so as to be in alignment with the other codes of practice, particularly the one that produced by MQA. Fifth objective is to develop an evaluation instrument that is based on the quality assurance area in the soon to be reviewed COPIA. And the last 2 objectives is to provide guidance for the HEP to sustain and continually enhance their quality, as well as for the panel of assessors and MQA officers to perform or in performing evaluation process. Next. Okay, so basically for the project deliverables, we have 2 main outcomes, which is to produce an updated COPIA. So at the moment we can unofficially call as COPIA 3rd edition document by reviewing all the content in COPIA 2nd edition. That will be published as one document. At the same time, we also will develop the evaluation instrument that we at the moment we refer to as rubrics for evaluation for the COPIA standards. That will be published in a separate document. So for today's presentation, we are going to focus on the first deliverables, and particularly the standards contained in section 2 actually. Okay, but the whole document of COPIA will retain all 6 sections, because if you recall the COPIA standards, the COPIA documents now, we have section 1 which represent overview of the higher education. Section 2 will contain all the standards that we are going to dwell today. Section 3 is about the guideline for submission of document. Section 4 is the process of audit process, institutional audit process. Section 5 is about the panel of assessors, the details about their term of reference and their tasks and responsibilities. And section 6, the last section, contains how the report will be prepared. So there is the 6th section that we are going to retain, but today we are going to discuss on section 2 only. Okay, so the process or the timeline, I would say, of the review process start with the panel understanding the mandate, the term of reference given by MQA to the panel, and then we gather the information through FGD session that was conducted in January this year, and then okay, and then we have based on the FGD session, we need to deliberate the findings, and then based on that deliberation, we discuss, and in particular in the workshop conducted in March this year, to come up with the framework, the review framework, as well as the review standards. Then we present our work, particularly the framework as well as the draft standards to the top MQA management, top management of MQA a few months ago. And then now we are in the stage where we want to engage with the stakeholders. So this is the purpose of today's workshop. And then the next activity that we plan is to have a final review of the draft of the COPIA standard, as well as to compile the whole document, and then to present the whole document to the top management of MQA, and then to the MQA Council for approval. Okay, so that is the process. So talking about the focus group discussion, this is the methodology. So the methodology is to have a quality to have a qualitative approach by using case study. So we have the protocol of FGD session that is that were developed a few days before the workshop, the FGD workshop, and then you can see how some main main information about the protocol in the yellow box, the techniques of data collection as well as the data analysis procedure. So then participants were selected from various stakeholders to ensure fair and balanced representation from both public and private sectors. So for FGD session, it was conducted concurrently on 23rd January this year, comprising different stakeholders, which includes government and semi-government agencies, professional bodies, MPA assessors, HEPs, education funders, employers, industry players, as well as the representative from the Committee of Deputy Vice Chancellors and Rector for Academic Affairs. And then the finding of each FGD session were transcribed and analyzed by repertoires. The findings from different sessions were triangulated, consolidated, and summarized. And then this is actually was discussed in the dedicated workshop in March 2024 this year in Kinrara. So that was the process of FGD. So based on the whole process, as well as the output from the workshop in Kinrara, then we are going to present the slide which give you the new areas of evaluation. So we have the existing areas of evaluation, 9 areas as embedded or as given in COPA first edition as well as second edition. Now the proposal is to consolidate the area to become 5 area of evaluation. So the area of evaluation you can see in the slide. The first area will focus on institutional leadership and governance. The second area is about academic development and management. The third area is for the students' experience and support, student experience and student support. And the fourth area focus on talent and resources. And the fifth area is quality assurance and sustainability. But basically, this area is not is a consolidation of the existing areas actually, and then you can see the mapping to the arrows, how the current area in second edition is linked to the new proposed COPIA areas. Okay, but of course there are updates of standards. There are new standards being introduced. So this table actually summarizes what is changed in terms of quantitative figure. So we have changes from the current COPIA to the new proposed COPIA. In terms of area of evaluation, we have in the new proposal we have 5 area of evaluation compared to 9 in the second edition, COPIA second edition. In terms of criteria, we refer, in this case, the criteria means the sub-area actually. We have 32 in total, but during the evaluation, the criteria is being evaluated based on the standards that is within the criteria. They are within they are formulated within the criteria. So under this 32 sub-area of criteria, we have a total of 178 standards that has been used as evaluation criteria, particularly for the APA, Academic Performance Audit, in 2009, involving all the HEPs in Malaysia, as well as the one that is invited to apply for self-accreditation status in 2009 as well as in 2015. So the new proposed document will have a reduced number of criteria, because now we only have 5 area evaluation. There are consolidation of areas involved in a way that the new proposal will have only 27 sub area or criteria. But at the same time, we also have some sub criteria that we at the moment we refer to as clusters, because some of the standard will be clustered and the evaluation will be based on clusters of standards. Okay, and then under that new 27 criteria, we have formulated at the moment 82 standards. So you can see the reduction from 178 to 82. Okay, next one is the more detailed framework, how it is being consolidated. So you can see each of the 5 area, within that 5 area we have two boxes. One is in white, which represent how the previous second edition criteria is being mapped with the new areas and new criteria eventually. So the colored box represent the new criteria. So you can see how, so basically we don't really omit any of the current criteria, but we consolidate to reflect the current requirements as well as the current scenario, the updated scenario. Of course, there are new criteria. For example, we have 1.2, the new criteria about the strategic planning, as well as 5.5 about the sustainability. But the rest of the criteria remain the same actually. But of course, there are some updates in terms of standards, the statement of standard itself. Okay, so these are the whole framework, how the area and sub area of criteria have been defined in the new proposal. So talking about how the standards is being formulated and consolidated, I will give you one example. For example, in the first area, so this in COPIA 2009, this comes from criteria 1.1, which is about the formulation of vision, mission, and recreational goals. So you can see here how it is being consolidated. We consider of course, we consider the current standards that which serve as the main reference, but at the same time, we also try to align with COPA second edition published in 2017, because we want the COPIA also to seamlessly support COPA. At the same time, if you remember, there are standards developed for the purpose of renewing the self-accreditation status, which was published as a guideline for compliance evaluation of self-accreditation universities 2020. So we take also, we also refer to that standards that was developed. But at the same time, because of that is for the purpose of renewing the status, many of the standards we will look into as a possible descriptors for AL4, but there are also some can serve as the baseline expected baseline standards for this document. And then after we consolidate, we take all, we refer to all these three standards, three type of standards. Then we also make use of in artificial intelligence, in this case, ChatGPT 4.0, to see how these statements can be consolidated. So this include the benchmark and enhanced standard in the original COPA, as well as the guideline for evaluation standards for self-accreditation universities. So in the end, we have the AI generated statements which contain very detailed, very elaborated statement, sometimes contains more than one sentence. We consolidate into a shorter version, improved version. So this one is been done by the panel. So we did that for the other standards, because at the same time we also have in mind about clustering the standards, because these standards may be seen as to link with each other. For example, if you see the first statement that we developed here, it is about formulation of educational goals. That must be consistent with the vision, mission, and in line with the national and global developments. And then, in order to stress this is standard, we retain the custom in COPIA standards in the code of practice, that the model verb used is must here. And then the second standards considered by the panel is about the requirements for this statement of purpose of the institution need to be approved by a governing board in the institution for the purpose of implementation. So you can see that this is interlinked to each other. So even though it is represented by separate statements, it can be evaluated holistically and then give due rating in form of one attainment level. Okay, so we proceed with the next statement, also in the same area of evaluation in the COPIA second edition, 1.1 still. Then we have the standards about how to disseminate the vision, mission, and educational goals, particularly to the relevant stakeholders. So also this one can be evaluated simultaneously with the other two statements. So based on that, we define this as the criteria, the first criteria. Eventually, this also will be evaluated within one cluster when for the purpose of evaluating and giving appropriate rating in terms of in form of attainment level. Okay, so okay, next. So based on this, we documented the new consolidated statement as we're using this structure. So we have area of evaluation, area 1 as institutional leadership and governance. We have criterion, formulation and review of mission, vision, mission, and educational goals, under which we have 3 standards, statements of standards. Okay, so this complete the criteria, the first criteria 1.1. But of course, we continue with the other criteria. Eventually, area 1 will have 5 criteria altogether. Okay. So to summarize the process, the changes involve restructuring of the existing evaluation areas, where the evaluation areas in second edition was consolidated from the current 9 to 5 key areas of the evaluation for a more streamlined and cohesive assessment and audit processes. And then within the criteria, we have standards that will be clustered into only one tier standard system. So we no longer have enhanced and benchmark standards. We only have standards. But in order to make the evaluation more holistic, the standard will be clustered. In this case, many of the clusters is actually a criterion itself. But there are also some criteria will be subdivided into sub-criteria. That's why the clustering is also will be another features of this document. And then the last one is the introduction of new criteria, particularly in this case, we have 2 new criteria introduced, which is on strategic planning, about strategic planning, as well as about the institutional sustainability. So there is the summary, 3 summary of changes that you could expect in the new documents. So for today's workshop, we we would like to engage with all of you. So the objective of this engagement is to foster meaningful collaboration between the institution and its stakeholder to ensure that decisions, policies, and practices are informed by diverse perspectives. This engagement aims to enhance institutional transparency, accountability, and relevance by incorporating feedback from key stakeholders, which include staff, students, alumni, industry partners, as well as the community. Ultimately, this engagement intends to support the institution's continuous improvement, alignment with its societal needs, as well as achievement in its long-term strategic goals. So the purpose of this engagement is to ensure that the institution's decision reflect the needs of the expectation of its various stakeholders. Okay, so the engagement also seeks to use stakeholders' input to inform and to enhance institutional strategies and policies for better outcomes. Next, to provide a transparent mechanism for the stakeholders to contribute to and hold the institution accountable for its decision. It also seeks to use ongoing feedback to drive continuous improvement and enhancement of programs, services, and operational practices. And lastly, it also seeks to strengthen relationship with the stakeholders by fostering trust, engagement, and the sense of shared responsibility in achieving institutional goals. So, at the same time, we appreciate your feedback. By the same time, we also will safeguard the confidentiality of the feedback. Your privacy and confidentiality of your responses are our top priorities. The information you provide in this study will be treated as the highest level of confidentiality. Non-personal information such as your name and other personal details will be collected and linked to the data. All responses will remain anonymous, and the data gathered will be securely stored. The findings from this study will be reported in aggregated form, ensuring responses from individual participants will not be identified. Rest assured, your participation and information provided by you will be handled with strict confidence at all times. So this ends my briefing on the new COPIA, particularly section 2, the standards in section 2, how we develop the standards. So to proceed, we will proceed with the Q&A session where many of my colleagues will assist you on answering your inquiries, your questions, but we are going to divide the participants into 4 groups. So you can see the link. Eventually, the third and the fourth group will share the same link. So you can see the link that you are going to join after this. Sorry, this one is the form, survey form. This is the survey form. So this survey form will allow you to give feedback on the draft review of the COPIA that is available from MK portal. Again, so we hope to get your feedback latest by 8th October 2024, which is this next Tuesday, next week. So you have ample time, I hope, to give us feedback that we required in order to complete the process of reviewing the documents. So you have the link for the form. Next, okay, that will end my session, but this, the first session, the first part of the session, but then you have Q&A session in separate links. So those under category 2, because we have a bigger group here, you can remain in the same link. You are going to be you You are going to be facilitated by our two panelists, Prof. Ondu Sheng and Prof. Maniam Kalianan. Okay, and then that is for category 2 for the assessors, the panel of APP, panel of assessors and MPA officers. For category 1, those representing HEP, higher education provider with self-accreditation status, you can join session 1, category 1. I will be with you answering all your inquiries and questions. I will be assisted also by one of the MPA officers. And then category 3 and 4 we combine. That will be handled by Prof. Iqbal, our Deputy CEO MQA, as well as the standard writer, Dr. Samsul. Okay, that the category 3 and 4 is for ministries, agencies, industries, and professional bodies, as well as student representatives. Okay, so I think that's all from me. And then if you have any query, you can just put in the chat box. Okay, and then I will hand over back to the chairperson, Puan Fatin. Thank you very much. Okay, for those who are still online, since we have about half an hour before the transition to the Q&A session, so maybe this is a good opportunity if I can also brief you the standards, the statements itself. Okay, I think you can assess the standards, the draft standards. The moment we refer to as third edition 2024, because in our plan we also would like this to be published end of this year, by end of this year, if not early next year. So you can see here, of course, this one you will expect in the full document we have all 6 sections, but in this case we only give you the glimpse of section 2 only. Okay, basically you can see section 2 will have a number of pages starting from the introduction. The presentation is quite similar with the current standards. The current section 2 in COPIA second edition, except the evaluation areas is now 5 instead of 9. Then you can see the criteria and standards. So what we refer to as criteria is area 1, sub area 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. So you can see, even though in the presentation, I only highlight area 1.1, sub area or criteria 1.1, but you can see area 1 contains 5 sub area. And then if you, maybe some of you who undergo renewal of the status, you will see similarity with the code, the guideline for compliance evaluation for the renewal process. So basically, there is also one of the main reference that we refer to, but at the same time, there are some standards that we treat later as AL4. So we somehow moderate the standard so that it is for the AL3 level. Okay, so you can see area 1 contains 5 sub area. We begin with formulation and review of the vision, mission of an educational goal, in which we also refer to these 3 statements as the statement of purpose for the institution. And then we also cover some new area about this formulation and employment of strategic plans. Okay, that also will be another area that will be audited during the process. And we also, area 1.3, we look into the combined institutional and academic leadership. Institutional leadership refers to the corporate part or the institutional part of the leaders, the team of leaders that manage the HEPs. Academic refers to the leadership for the academic establishment, particularly the one who run the program like faculties, schools, and so on. So the academic leadership refers to as deans and so on. Okay, and then so there are the number of standards varies from maybe 2 to 4. Sometimes some criteria we have 5 standards. So for area 1, for example, we have 5 criteria. So the last 2 criteria is about governance function and mechanism, and 1.5 is about management of information and records. So you can see very high similarity with the current guidelines for compliance evaluation for renewal of self-accreditation status. But of course, the statement is being moderated in a way to provide a baseline standards for the HEP who aim to apply for the status. Okay, so that's area 1. So for area 2, we also will have 5 criteria. So area 2 is named as academic development and management. It starts with the learning outcomes, the formulation of learning outcomes, how this conform with the MQF clusters of learning outcomes, and how it is manifested in form of curriculum. Phase 2.1, it has of program design, which has 4 standards, followed by program delivery. So if you see area 2, it is much aligned with COPA area 1, because the aim for COPIA here to support COPA seamlessly, if possible. But COPIA will look into the institutional process rather than at the program level. So we hope to provide a very good complementary standards between COPA and COPIA. And then for 2.3 is about program delivery, which has also 4 standards to support the delivery of the program as stipulated also by COPIA. And 2.4 is learning assessment. This is to support area 2 in COPA. So COPIA criteria 2.4 is to provide what is the standards for the institutional process that can support the accomplishment of, for example, if you measure the learning outcome, it is stipulated by COPA area 2, but at the COPIA level, we look into the institutional process that can support those accomplishments at the program level. Okay, and then for 2.5, the last criteria in area 2 is about program management, which is to consolidate areas of program management in COPIA second edition, as well as to consider what aspect that is required by COPA to maintain the acceptable expected level of quality in terms of program management. So that is for area 2. For area 3, it is called as student experience and support. It starts with student admission. So there are 5 standards under student admission, followed with mobility and credit transfer, 2 standards, and then we have 3.3 student support services, talking about what kind of support that has to be provided by the institution in order to support the learning process of students, in terms of policies, in terms of what to be provided, academic and non-academic facilities, covering academic and non-academic facilities, and how it is being monitored, maintained, and sustained. And 3.4 is on the student development. So it contains the 2 standards. Okay, this is about the non-academic part of the student development. It also influences students' learning experience, but in the non-academic perspectives. Okay, and then 3.5 is about the rights, the representation and participation. So, but of course we update the area to become student representation and empowerment. So we add empowerment on top of the student representation. So it is supported by 2 standards. And then lastly, we have 3.6 alumni. So this area will have 6 criteria. Okay, so the alumni criteria include the need to foster the engagement with the alumni, as well as to provide platform and avenue for the process of fostering the engagement with alumni. And then area 4 is talking about the resources, including human resources, but in this case, we refer human resources as talents. So it includes academic staff as the main requisite for HEP. It is the criteria on academic staff is supported by 5 statements of standards from the recruitment, the plan, recruitment, as well as the training and the performance evaluation. We also cover similar perspective, but for the non-academic staff, supported by 3 standards. And then for the educational resources, we separate into 2 parts, because there are physical resources that is defined by infrastructure, physical infrastructure and facilities. At the same time, we also have non-physical facilities and resources. For example, the e-learning platform, the networking, Wi-Fi, and so on. We call as and refer to as here as technological resources. So it is both are supported by 3 to 4 standards. And then we also, since many of the staff, I think if not all of the staff institution need to have research perspective. Of course, they also need to support postgraduate studies, which majority of the studies are incorporate research activities. So there are criteria on research resources that need to be put in place. Okay, and then the resources, the talent and resources area, and with financial resources supported by 3 standards. And the last standard is about the quality assurance and sustainability aspect. It begins with the IQA system, the HEP that need to have sound IQA system, and then this will be evaluated through two standards under IQA, the criteria on IQA systems, 5.1. And then the process of monitoring, review, and evaluation of the programs is embodied in 5.2. This is at the moment, the standards, there are quite a lot of standards. It is separated into two sub-areas. So this defines the clustering. So originally we have 7 standards to support this important criteria. Since we have a lot of standards, we divide into 2 sub-area or sub-criteria. First, to focus on the policy. Second, to focus on implementation. Okay. The third criteria under Area 5 is about the involvement of stakeholders, but we also combine educational experts because some feedback is required also from the educational experts, like, for example, external assessor and external examiners. So this section has 3 standards altogether. And the fourth criteria for the Area 5 is on the quality improvement and enhancement, which is about how to foster the culture as well as to connect the process of the institutional process of maintaining the program quality to the institutional goals. Okay, so that is for quality improvement and enhancement. And then for the 5th criteria, which is the last criteria in the documents in the section 2, is about the institutional sustainability. We consolidated the requirements under institutional sustainability into only one statement of standards. So basically, there's the list of the 82 standards under 27 criteria and 28 cluster. The only one where the cluster is not the same as the criteria is in 5.2, because there are quite a lot of standards to deal with, but it can be separated into 2 sub-areas, policies and implementation. So that's all the number of standards that is proposed under the 3rd edition of COPIA. Okay.
We will start the Q&A session. Kita akan mula. Saya akan jawab soalan dari Hanif. Morning. Sorry, I'm on my video. So hope you can hear me clearly. The Q&A chatbot. Ada satu soalan tentang standard 252. There's a statement highlight that there is a need to add another academic staff to support the program coordinator. Actually, the standard mentioned an academic staff team. Actually, is the HGP must appoint one coordinator for the program, and also the academic team. To run the program, because in many program standards we have stated the minimum number of academic staff required to run the program. Okay, hope this is clear. Yeah, APP, you stay here. For APP. Okay, if you have any question, you can, if you can speak, you can on your mic and ask question, or if you can type in the Q&A chat box. And also Prof. Maniam is with me to help answer your question.
Morning, everyone. I'm Maniap. Happy to assist Prof. Ong.
What's the biggest change We changed the number of area, to 5 area as presented by Prof. Sharif Autet. So that's the biggest change. And also the number of standard really reduced to 82 now, with 28
from 178 to 82.
So that's in the presentation slide. If I can share again, I can share. You can see here we have changed. This is the
slide number 11 is clearer.
11. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. If you have any question, welcome you to write it or just on your mind if you can.
There's a question from Siti Aisha in terms of structure and committees involved.
Sorry, I try to arrange my view because I can't see the.
If I can just take Siti Aisha, I'm not sure what you mean by that, but the current practice of the universities remain as it is. Of course, we are now, the whole idea as mentioned by Prof. Shahir earlier, to make it more specific and focus on the need for the assessment.
Okay, thank you. Siti Aisha, if it's not clear, please you can ask again your question. In terms of structure, this is we restructure, not just number standard, but the actual qualification of people. What you mean by staff, people involved, involved in terms of what? I'm sorry, I need to clarify again. Siti, when you say committee, which committee? What are you referring to? Which particular standard?
I think we also, if I can just add, we also have not gone to that detail yet. Membership and a number of committees, right? We have not gone into that from the MQA perspective. Eventually, when we go further in terms of specific questions and whatnot, probably then we can address that question of Siti Aisha. I think that's my opinion, lah.
Hey, let me stop sharing. Maybe you can. Any checklist can go through. At the moment, not yet. We are focused on section 2 only. For today, there's a question on ODL also. But I hope to clarify first for Siti Aisha. And the last comment answer. Okay. All right. Thank you. So we go to the question by Hafiza. So you mentioned about here the ODL. Of course, ODL we understand. That's the nature of the program to conduct program is so difficult to arrange this curriculum. Actually it's possible, but it's depends on the institution, right? For the requirement for the standard, yeah, it's stated as that. So if you have any opinion or suggestion also, you can go to us.
There's the suggestion from Dr. Kumar Devan, right?
Oh yeah, it's a challenge for me to look at the Q&A and also the chat.
If I can take that question of the
Yeah,
Prof.
please
Ong,
go ahead. Yeah.
from Dr. Kumara, in area 1 subheading 1.3, is it relevant? Because it is focused on academic leadership, which is usually beyond our control. But this is like, required for us to see whether the governance structure and the leadership in terms of quantity and quality, do they have that? That is what we have put that question, that section 1.1.3. But as I mentioned later, right, we'll have more specific questions to address this leadership, Dr. Kumara. Because among the question asked, it's also about the way the committees and the people are appointed in terms of qualification, experience, and specific roles of these people in the various committees. Hope I explained that, Dr. Kumara, yeah?
Yeah. If I may add, Dr. Kumara, we have a section on the talent for academic staff appointment, yeah, as a resource, yeah. And
Area
for
number
here,
4.
section 1 is focused on leadership because the institutional audit includes about how the board function, yeah, the university board function. So the appointment of the VC and DVC, of course, yeah, for IPTA, IPTS, they are different, but we will have to review this based on the constitution of the university. Yeah, thank you. Okay, that is, I think I'll miss some already. I missed.
Now from Lillian.
Okay. Okay, we have Lillian now on physical resources. There is 4.3. Yeah, let me go to. .3, yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead because I tried.
I think just to respond to Lillian, the 4.3.2, yes, eventually, now this is a general statement is talking about resources, but eventually we will look at the equipment also must comply to the laws. So when we check, when auditors go and check, we don't only check whether they have or not, but make sure the equipments are also safe to use and they must be complying to regulations or not. We do check on that. Thanks for the suggestion, Lillian. We will put in the subsections, right? And then 4.3.4, should it be physical resources instead of physical facilitatable? Yeah, here 4.3.4, yes, we look at resources, both physical resources. Eventually, we also have what we call technological resources. We covered every part, physical and also non-physical resources. And also, we also bear in mind the need for the special needs OKUs and whatnot. Is there covered as well?
Yeah, thank you very much for the input. Now we will take note and bring for discussion. Yeah, Lillian. Okay. So we go to the new frameworks avoid overlapping, which cost is the new framework. 6, 7. Yeah, actually, we try. One of the objective of this exercise actually is to try to remove actually all the overlapping, if possible. So we also welcome feedback. If you discover any, we will read into it again. Yeah, thank you for the moment signing. Okay.
Also, just thanks to Lillian as well. I think she talked about the consistency of terms used, right? Physical resources versus physical facilities. Yeah, we take note of that point as well. Thank you for that.
Okay.
And then there's another question from Dr. Kumara, 2.3.3.
Yeah.
Teaching and learning activities must be aligned with the curriculum, incorporating with multiple approaches. Yeah, need to be restructured to avoid confusion. I'm not sure where it's coming from.
No.
Because you see, we are visiting different universities with different what they call programs offered and all that. That is why the panel thought this word multidisciplinary covers everything, right? But again, just to re-emphasize, in the sub questions, we can define this word multidisciplinary. We can define it to avoid confusion.
Yeah, thank you for the input. I think it's necessary for us. Thank you.
We define it. Thank you.
I try to write down also the comment. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also taking it down. And then from Dr. Martandan, 2.4.3, methods like assessment, plagiarism, grading, criteria must be documented, communicate to students, appropriate schedule regarding communicating itself. Can we include emphasize feedback component to take into consideration? Providing feedback is vital. Okay, I think it's a very good suggestion from Dr. Martandan, 2.4.3, right? On the feedback component. Yeah, I think we can give this feedback to the panel as well. Thanks for that.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for your constructive comment.
We take note of that as well. Yeah. And then from Lillian again, area 5.2. B and is monitoring intentionally removed? Maybe you can take that from Lillian.
5.2B. So other F and 5.2 is monitoring intentionally removed. Why you mentioned intentional remove?
Because I think if I understand where Lillian coming from, because in area in 5.2 we said mechanisms for program monitoring, review and evaluation, right? Lillian, if you look at 5.2.7, Lillian, we actually put the word review and evaluation. It is not removed, it is there in the substandard, it is mentioned there. Example like 5.2.4, right? The program monitoring, review and evaluation exercises must be coordinated. The word review is mentioned. I hope answered that question, Lillian.
Okay, is that Lillian? Is that we answer your question?
Questions are coming in, and then from Siti Aisha, Prof. Ong.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good suggestion. We are doing it, Siti Aisha. We are compiling all the because we have too many abbreviations. We are compiling it. We will put it as part of the initial pages of the document later. All the terms, definitions will be there in the document once completed.
Yeah, also we want to make sure it's consistent with all other documents from MQA. Yeah, we see COPA also have a list of definitions and so on. Thank you. Then we have another from Santi Kumari. Program head clarification explained by speakers and speakers. Okay, 1.3.2.
1.3.
Yeah. So you mentioned
in fact, I think in 1.3.2 it is mentioned in a very general term, right? When we further define this standard 1.3.2, we have, I remember seeing, we do have questions about specific qualifications of coordinators and program lead. It's already there. It's mentioned.
Yeah.
It is
Here is generally for the leadership, top leadership, and general. We have the program. I think it's under. Yeah, physical resources. We have the academic staff. Yeah, I think here. Sorry, I can't recall now exactly. Yeah. We have a clause on the program coordinator.
Yeah, we do have a clause, correct. So what happens now? This for everybody's knowledge. These are the general or generic standards, right? We have many questions created, or we are creating now. This example 1.3.2, we do have about 3 to 5 questions asked to the PPT eventually. By answering these 5 questions, they will be then answering our standard 1.3.2. That's the plan. All right. That's why we're clustering it.
Yeah, I hope this is clear. 5.2.2, yeah, to Shanti Kumari, yeah. And then we have another question here from Prof. Zaini. Is this a new structure related very close to industrial when time to this is the for whole institutional audit rather than a program level, yeah. Prof. So for this one is for COPIA institution level, not really focus on the specific curriculum.
It might overlap in some areas. It might overlap. Yeah, it might overlap. And then
So,
Lillian, thanks Lillian for your suggestions. We'll take it to our notice as well. Yeah. If we put there the word monitoring is missing in other sections. Yeah, we'll take note of that as well.
Okay, we have a question in Q&A. Yeah, let's check Q&A. What does this mean by governing body? Yeah, we have the board of the university, or board director, or board governance. Yeah, and also we have Senate. Yeah, so these are the governing body of the university. I hope I answer your question, Anand. So we have next question, Dr. Tandon. 4.5.2. We have 4.5.2. We must provide the rest of the assignment should be given if possible for the other.
Yeah, I think it's more of a suggestion from Dr. Martan. Yeah, point noted. Martan,
Yeah.
we take note of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We take note. Yeah, I think it's a good observation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah. So at 4.5.2 UG.
3.1 again from Dr. Kumara, 3.1.3. 3.1.3. Student selection must adhere principal fairness and the process of selection of the special needs. Principle and fairness or transparency also need to be defined. Yes, it is there in the full document of the Kumara. It is mentioned. It is, I think, defined in terms of what we mean by fairness and transparency. It is defined. Thanks for that.
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Iskandar, Prof. Ong.
Yeah. Prof. 3.4. I think student development, can we include personal subject that provide students take 1, 2, 3 semester? This because those subjects also computer student do not have. We are not observations to personal subject which is part of. I don't really get the question. I'm sorry. Dr. Iskandar,
No, I think suggestion is to include the co-curriculum subject within the standard as well. But again, I think Prof. Ong, we can take the point, and bring to the panel and see how we can incorporate that co-curriculum subject. So we can take it as a point to note, like, yeah?
But co-curriculum subject is part of the program, right? Yeah, we already, the management of the program, that side we should have cover. Here we are talking about the extracurricular, yeah? This is a different, but anyway, we will take into
We can take note of
point,
that,
yeah?
huh?
Yeah, take note of your 3.4. Okay, thank you. Because we actually, there's no issue for any university to have a co-curricular subject in the first or second, third semester, right? At the moment, yeah, you can consider that in the program. Yeah. Okay. Okay. No problem. Yeah, Prof. Saini. No.
We'll take note of that, like, huh?
Thank you.
Professor, Professor Dr. Zaini. Sorry, okay, sorry, question was big. I think that's answered, right?
Yeah.
Answered, okay.
Thank you. Is it possible to simplify 551? Okay. 551. See how to. So that easier to understand. It means there are two common execution strategy and legal source. Yeah, definitely. This particular, we want to keep it concise and to one standard here. So the HGP have the strategy for sustainability. At the same time, they provide adequate resources to implement the strategy. So that's part for that. Yeah. So it seems like two requirement. Yes. Yeah. If there's only on paper, there's no actions. Yeah, or no resources to make sure it's. Well, I think it won't meet the standard. So that's what we put it together. Okay, I hope it helped. What's the difference between 2 million, 254 and 532? 532, yeah. 532 here, since I'm here, the program review evaluate must consider feedback and recommendation from all its actuation experts, yeah, including advisors. Okay. So 532, feedback from external, 254. Will involve external expertise for quality assurance and must utilize resources to continue. Yeah. Very good question. Maybe we should make it clear.
Actually, yeah. Almost like redundant, right?
Yeah, it could be. It actually is two aspect. Yeah, I think that we have the program level. Yeah, and also number 5, area 5, actually the whole institution level. So here. But we will look into it, yeah, to make sure that it's
good
clear.
suggestion. We'll bring it to the panel.
Yeah.
We'll look into it. Thanks, Lilian. Thank you so much.
From
Siti Aisha, suggestion might help to better understanding of these changes in the new edition. It is very concise background on what were the major problem issues in the previous edition requires changes. I think in the preface of the document it was mentioned the reason or the rationale for the revision that we are doing this revision for. But anyway, Siti Aisha, thanks for thing. If you look at the introduction, right, it was actually mentioned in the few paragraphs the reason for this edition. It is 2009. It's enough. We have spent over 15 years now. Time to review. Number one. Number two, reason is there are a lot of new standards were COPA, GSAO. So we want to also be consistent in terms of our development. That's the whole idea. But point noted, we'll also can add on the preface why we are doing these changes. Makes sense. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. I have showed the background here, and also we have conducted the focus group discussion. Yeah, actually from there we also get the reason why we want to make changes, yeah, and which part we need to make changes from the focus group outcome. Thank you, Siti. Then we move to next one. Signing again by looking at the whole structure, it's not more critical and complex.
So I think
Okay,
from
thank
Dr.
you.
Zaini, I think that's the whole idea. Whole idea is based on our FGG and all that, right? We do not want to reduce the unnecessary redundancy. That's the whole thing that we spend many hours looking at it and see how we can improvise it, lah, right? That's the whole idea. And in fact, a good example from Lillian just now, yeah, we can still fine tune it to make it better. That's why we need this session and your feedback, lah. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Zaini.
Thank you.
Also explains why we bring down the standards from 174 to only 88. This whole idea, lah. Huh?
Yeah, indeed, Siti Aisha, it's very stressful for the auditor too. Yeah, for us here to go through all this, so many standards.
That's the whole idea. That's the whole idea. We want people welcome us and not to scold us and avoid us, lah. That's the whole idea. I think just to give you a background, this committee, 6-7 of us, I think we met close to about more than 100 hours in the last 8 months. We met many times online, physical, and we gone through the document many times. Yet there are also room for improvement. Thank you so much, guys, for your feedback.
Okay,
Any other questions or comment you can give us?
Yeah, comments like from Lydian is really helpful. Yeah, the different. I think we want to make it clear when we discuss the idea is the 2.5.4 is focused on the program and it's not clear. Maybe our we need to change a bit. Yeah, see, hopefully it's clear. For 2.3.2, we definitely want the review actually is the institution level. Of course, each one is directly linked to all the program. Yeah. Okay, we have another 5.5.1. Again, yeah. Let's suggest incorporate education for. Okay, we take note of your suggestion.
We take note of that. Thank you, Dr. Nathandan. Sustainable development. Education program. Thanks for that.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Any question from the?
Any other questions or suggestions?
Yeah, some question in the Q&A. I think we have not answered. Did I go there to have a look?
Another question from Lillian. So area 2, perhaps that emphasis should be program development at institution level, else would be confused with program level in COPA. Area 2 should be. Yeah, you're right. The whole idea of area 2 is actually on program development at institution level. Maybe we need to refine it. Thanks, Lillian.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
There's one from Dr. Iskandar. 4.1.
4.1.
Monitoring issue of rotation position, academic administration.
Yeah, Dr. Iskandar, that is definitely a university practice, right? In university practice, whether it's a must. Yeah, I think we have to bring it for discussion. Because when we put it in the standard, it becomes like it's a must to do the rotation, right? So usually it depends on the university for their practice. Yeah, but we'll take note your comment. Yeah, Iskandar.
From Maslina, item 4.1.5, where my suggestion is to we clearly mention the word CPD to replace 4.1.5. CPD to replace training development program, because in some programs, standard CPD for 40 hours in a year is compulsory. Academic staff comply with.
Okay, you want the term?
We didn't put it here, Masina, because again, it varies from university to university, right? All we want to see, I think, at the auditor level, we want to see the universities have got some training development program and hours for their staff. Because some may call it CPD, some may just call it compulsory training, some may call it career development hours. So that is why we just put it a generic statement as training and development for academic staff. And we didn't mention how many hours there.
Hope that helped, yeah, Maslina. So some quite long, many criteria to be fulfilled in one sentence. Okay, for example. Thank you for your comment, Santi Kumar. We'll look into it. 3131, too long. Okay.
As an example, yeah, we look into it.
And what is if the HP fulfill one or did not fulfill the other aspect? Yeah, then if not fulfill, yeah, the standard. If the
in terms of the marks scoring, the AL marks will drop, the marks will be affected. Because as an auditor, for every standard, for everything, we give them points, right? AL 1, 2, 3, 4. So the marks then will be affected, and it may affect the overall, level of accreditation.
Is there any possibility?
The suggestion of Dr. Kumara about 5.5 sustainable development goals.
Yeah, I think we will take note your comment, but to cover all 17 goals, yeah, I think it's whether that it's a university role to cover all. I think it's also is.
I think we talked about it. We talked about it. That's why we use the word sustainability. But again, the same comment was given: can the universities cover all 17? The earlier suggestion was education for sustainable development. That is a more generic statement. And whatever they do, they may cover partial of the 17. As long as they cover, it may be helpful for the university's growth, right? That's the whole idea.
Yeah. The next one, Norris Nini, yeah. Actually, there's a definition for external advisor and also external examiner in COPA. We will refer to that. Yeah. So then you'll be clear about the function. Prof. Mani, I think we have to look at the Q&A session because it's not fair for them to wait for comment.
Okay, is there? Okay, sorry, I didn't. Okay.
Yeah, let's go through that.
There's a question from Norhan. I think where do we start?
Yeah, I think we start at the after Hanif suggestion of area 3. So far, there is no concern about student enrollment registration. Maybe MQH should further talk of this issue. There's no concern about student. We have a student admission. Why? I don't understand the question. Sorry. Yes.
In area 3, Hanif, there is a 3.1 admission. We do talk about qualification, the process, the fairness, and just it is mentioned in 3.1. Hope that covers, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And there's a question of Prof. Ong from Nur Hana. I think for 1.1.2, what does it mean by governing body?
Yeah, I have mentioned already. It's according to the Constitution, we have the Board of Governance and also Senate and their role. Yeah.
Okay, mention. Okay, now next is program head or coordinator's qualification. I think that's also covered, right? Covered as well. Okay. Hanif 5.1, I believe MK should look more bigger picture, establishing independent department for managing quality assurance.
Yeah, I think they want at standard 5.1. Yeah, 5.1.
I think this to respond, Hanif, it is compulsory for the university, especially the SWA university, to have a unit on IQA, right? So we can compromise on that. That's why we put it there, like internal. We put it 5.1, internal quality assurance system. They must have a system. Otherwise, I think they don't even qualify themselves to be SWA. That's why I put it there.
Yeah. But I'm not sure that there's the The standard can be improved by giving more combination of department to encourage one center that manage. Okay. Yeah, the requirement is one, but if you have a combination of departments, yeah, but it's centralized, managed, I think that's important. That's what we try to highlight here. Yeah, you have one, unit that is centrally managed, but you can have several within the university, like for different campuses. So, okay, thank you. Then we go to Rosanna, 2.5, 2.5. Okay, it must be ensure that program undergo regular review. Okay. Again, diploma also need, he mentioned that diploma, we will check that. Thank you. 2.5,
I think we will check on that. We'll check on that.
I think so. Thank you. Thank you, Rosanna. Then we go back to the tab. I think we have what number. Okay. Lillian.
I think we are from Lillian again.
Yeah.
The terms educational goals 1.1.1, the institutional goals either be differentiated or standardized. I think the issue is between educational goals and institutional goals, right? They are different. They are different because I think institutional goals looking at the bigger picture, the vision, the mission, and within that, institutions they should have their educational goals. Eventually, educational goals will support the attainment of institutional goals.
But here,
anything on that?
You mentioned 1.2 on M. Actually, maybe we have to put in the definition. Thank you. I think that's important to make it clear.
Definitions,
1.1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you. Yes, well, as mentioned, but one of the use of some. We are about the external advisor as a minor, right? For auditor, for us, the important thing we check the role, the play, the function they play, to the program, to the institution, so it depends on the term of reference that when you appoint them, you can also give using different term or external expert or whatever. But we will check on the role. I think that's important. So the definition is based on the function. The external advisor and external.
Meaning some universities may overlap advisor and examiner. As long as the function is fulfilled, I think we can then take it case by case, right? But we do provide definition. What do you mean by advisor and difference between examiner? Definitions are provided.
Okay, thank you. Very, very helpful constructive comment for us to relook.
Dr. Prof. Ong, I think go back to Q&A. There are two more questions there.
So
I think from Karti.
That's standard for foundation. Of course, it's apply for the whole institution, program. This is COPIA. COPIA is October. Program. For this COPIA, we actually audit the whole university management on the program. So it's all level cover. Yeah. think there's no specific standard mentioned that we exclude any. We have Lillian now jump to Q&A. Good. COPA state, yeah. Thank you.
I think Lillian taking from the COPA document, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for the review from involved external, yeah, definitely it's 6. But I think diploma, yeah, if I recall correctly, I think it's also involved, yeah, external. So we have to relook into this.
Yeah, we'll suggest the panel on that.
But whether we should go below level 5 to, I think we need to discuss this, yeah, because it's a policy matter. Okay, thank you.
Any other suggestions, comment? Again, it's not necessary must give today. No, I think earlier the Secretariat mentioned until 8th of October, sorry. So
Yeah,
your feedback
October.
are really very important for us to fine-tune and improvise the document. So please take some time to go through the document and give us more feedback so that we can improvise it. We have taken note of all the comments given. So we will bring it to our panel for discussion and see how we can improvise it. As we are discussing here, in other 2 rooms also, we are getting feedback and suggestions. So we'll incorporate all so that every stakeholder will benefit from this audit process. That's the whole idea. Any other comments, suggestions, feedback? Prof. Ong, anything to add, Prof. Ong?
No, we still have time. If we are reading, yeah, the document, yeah, it's okay. We can wait, yeah, because we schedule the time until 12, right?
Yeah, 11 to 12, yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So another 20 minutes.
Feel free, yeah, to take your time, read, and then give us feedback. Or as Prof. Maniam say, we have until the 8th of October, yeah.
There's something from Lillian, Prof. Ong, in the Q&A. She just asked in the introductory para 2, line 2, why human resources given emphasis?
Para 2, line 2, the characters and the characters. Oh. One is given emphasis. This is the general human resource development for the country. Yeah, I think so.
I think this is what I understand is this is the outcome of a good audit. We are producing, good human resources. I think that is what I understand from the introductory statement, Lillian. Anyway, I can always check with the head of panel.
Yeah. That's the purpose actually. Yeah.
Lillian, you're very good. Lillian is very, very focused. Very nice too. Thanks, Lillian. Thank you so much.
That's one. Any specific in the chat from Leon? Any specific guideline being set for academic ratio? Yeah, that will be based on program level. Yeah, for or staff. Sorry, non-academic staff. I think we at the moment no. Prof. Maniam,
don't have that developed yet. So this addition, if you look at 4.2 non-academic staff, we just talk about the hiring process, the evaluation, the training process, and the appraisal process of the non-academic staff who's supposed to support academic staff. To these specific questions, Leong, we don't have answer now, but eventually, I'm sure the other sections or the other standards will cover that.
Yeah, but it's a good question. Yeah, but the question is whether we should put it in the standard. Yeah, or as an auditor, I think what we need to check is make sure that the support is actually effective. Yeah, and to help the academic or the university to achieve the mission, vision, and provide education. So that's our main task as an auditor. Okay, there's a question. Is there any guideline for review, evaluation, or replacement of new program? And as program level, review, evaluation, or replacement of a new program.
Oh, program level, right? I think
Yeah,
this is covered under COPIA, I think, right?
COPA, under COPA.
Oh,
Yeah.
under COPA, sorry, under COPA, right?
Yeah. So it's please refer to COPA. Yeah. But or any guideline. I can't recall for replacement. For new program, developing a curriculum, yeah, but termination of program.
Chiam Heng King.
Yeah.
1.1.1. Does the
yeah.
term accordingly to relevant stakeholders convey the impression that different version to be given to relevant stakeholders?
Okay, accordingly to
1.1.1. If I read it, the HCP must formulate educational goals consistent with this vision. Where's the word accordingly? This 1.1.3. HCP must disseminate the vision educational goals accordingly. Meaning, I think the word accordingly, if I can just define it, different stakeholders, internal stakeholders, external stakeholders, how do we disseminate the information with them, right? Multiple channels of dissemination, town hall, bulletins, newsletters, your Facebook, that's what we measure. As long as the point is, doesn't matter how you disseminate, but the point is stakeholders have got the information from the organization. That's the whole idea.
Yeah, it's the mode, yeah, how we disseminate, not the different version of the.
As long as it's disseminated,
Thank you for your comment. We have one
very
question.
Good observation. Thanks.
In the Q&A, is from Katri. Is possible to include evaluation rank to guide for reference? Yeah, we will on this. Yeah, once because today we only focus on this area section 2 in the COPIA. According to the briefing by Prof. Shari, right? We will on this. Yeah, AL1 to AL5. Okay.
But we are working on the L. Thanks, Karthi, for that. We are working on that.
Yeah.
I believe this will guide the new. Yeah, you are right. It will specify the L1 means what, 2 means what. We'll give specific definition to that. Eventually, in the full document, you'll see all that applicable. Thanks for that.
Yeah, thanks to Lillian for your help to answer the question. Yeah, that definitely is the process. Yeah, that's a 2-minute program.
Students have section 3.3.2. Is there a corresponding section to academic? Section 3.3.
So Dr. Iskandar can always refer to MQA. Yeah. Okay, then we have 332. Okay,
is there a corresponding section for academic, non-academic staff? I think if Aisha, if you look at for academic staff, for example, under 4.1, right? Example 4.1.2 and 4.1.3, it actually in a way covers there facility support from the university for the academic staff development. It is covered somehow in the 4.1.2 and 4.1.3. Also for like 4.2 for non-academic staff, we actually covered that as well. But we didn't specifically put like 3.3.2 but it is covered in section 4.1 and 4.2.
Yeah, 4.1. Okay, thank you. We have another question in the Q&A. I believe this will also get the Q&A. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Not peanut suggestion, Karthik. It's a very good suggestion. Thank you for that. Yeah. All suggestions are valuable for us to improve.
Yeah. So thank you. Yeah. Frankly, very helpful. We need feedback. Yeah. Sometimes we look at the documents too long. We need your perspective. Yeah.
Anyone else? Any other suggestions? Any other feedback? Anyway, just to Siti Aisha, I have been taken off that suggestion as well. Maybe in the sub question, we can also add facilities for academic, non-academic staff. We'll add that as well. And we'll take into account as well. We have another 8 minutes. Anybody? Anyone? Any other suggestions or comments? So as mentioned by Prof. Fahir earlier in the discussion, the briefing, right? So based on the suggestions, comments, feedback we are receiving today, the panel will meet again to go through the document and improvise where necessary. That is why it may take another couple of months for us to get approval and to be implemented. It may take more time, but we are not rushing it. We want to make sure that all angles are covered.
Okay, there's a comment in the chat. I think it's only proper and actually urgent with all the health issues staff are facing.
It just a continuation from the earlier comment. Yes, I agree with you. 100% with you. Agree with you. Anyway, I have taken note of that as well. I've already put it in my comment to share with the panel. Yeah. And reshare the link to the forms. We'll pen them down. Thanks, Lillian. MQA Secretariat in the discussion as well. So MQA officer, please take note. Yeah, please reshare the link to the forms so that our members can comment. Thank you, Lillian. Thank you for that. Please be free to give comment. No, all comments will be read, will be taken into account. Prof. Ong, everyone is quiet?
Yeah, everyone is quiet. We still have 5 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, if please feel free to make any comment or even just question. Yeah, we will go into it.
Yeah, thanks to MQA Secretary. Thank you. It's already there. So you guys Tuan, please be free, because the time is there until 8 October, next week, Tuesday. If no, then Prof. Can we end the session then?
Yeah, I think, sure. We can end the session. Yeah,
sorry, we can't on our video to show our face. Somehow the videos the formatting is we can't on the video. Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for your time, for your effort reading the document and giving comment. This is what we want. We're all working for the same goal, right? Improvising our current system. Thank you so much. Prof. Ong?
Yeah, thank you from my side too. Yeah, and I pass the time back to the Secretariat, the MQA host. Thank you everybody for your suggestion. We will read your comment, please, by the 8th, October. Thank you.
Thank you everyone. We'll see you in the next forum. Thank you very much. Have a good day.